the first video and what I'm hoping is a lot of videos of women in horror. For those who don't know, February is Women of Horror Month. So I am hoping the plan is to be able to do at least one out of my 3 videos of the week based on women in horror. I wanted to try to do all of them, but I think I would probably unfortunately run out of ideas. Sad to say, but so I'm at least gonna try to get one out of the 3 videos of each week that focuses on women of horror, and so we will just see how that goes. So I'm very excited for this first video. I am actually, as you can tell from the title, going to be talking about my favorite women of Horrortube in the horror YouTube community. So I'm really excited for this first video. If there is anyone that I did not mention on this list, it is likely because I don't know who they are, or I may have forgotten. I went through my subscription list and the people that I'm following on Twitter just to kind of make sure that I didn't forget anybody. So if there's someone that isn't on this list, it is not a personal attack. It is not saying that I don't like whoever this person is. It is just likely that I don't know who they are or haven't really ever watched their videos. So if there is anybody that you think that I should be checking out, leave them in the comments below because I would love to see more women in the horror YouTube universe. But this is just my personal list of women that I watch. These are all women who I watch. So, yeah. But it's not just a list of my friends, it's people that I actually do genuinely watch and enjoy on YouTube. And this is not in any specific order. I just typed up a bunch of people, so I'm not rating anybody in any sort of order, which is normally what I do, but not in this case. It's just my list. So I will go ahead and just get into it. The first person that I wanted to mention today is Vanessa from Hello Horror / Horror Vixen, depending on what social media website you're on. On YouTube, she is Hello Horror. She is one of the first horror YouTubers that I started watching. She really got me into Horrortube and started subscribing to more horror related channels, and then was like, that's what I want to do with my channel, because I already had a channel, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it. And so she kind of gave me the idea, I guess, to start doing horror related stuff and getting more into it on YouTube. So if you guys don't know who she is, she does a combination of like unboxings. She also does a series called Fright Seeing, where she goes to the locations of different horror films. It's really awesome, and she gives you like fun facts about the location and stuff that happened during the filming. Highly suggest you check out that series if you haven't watched it. She does a couple of DUI stuff as well. Just like a good old combination of different things. And she's fantastic and wonderful, so I highly suggest her, which I have to stop saying because I suggest all these people. So, yes. The next person, and I have mentioned this person a few times, is Vicki from Nightmare Maven. She is, I consider, a good friend of mine. First person to ever become a Patreon. Shout out to Vicki. She's totally awesome. She does combination of horror reviews and some unboxings, which she's kind of taken a break from the unboxings, but I believe she plans to eventually get back into those. But she does mostly a lot of reviews, and it's really cool. She does a lot of reviews of movies that you maybe have never heard of. She's currently doing a series where she reviews like really old films, anything I believe before the 1970s. But yeah, so she's great. And there will be a link in the description below for all of these channels. I will link our YouTube is all down below, so you guys can easily check them out. I will also, I guess I should have said this in the beginning, I will also have a playlist for all of my Women of Horror videos that I do this month, just as an FYI. Okay, so next person is Emma from Spooky Astronauts. Could not put her on this list. She is one of my absolute favorite people in the horror YouTube community. Not only because she's just so supportive of everyone, including smaller channels like myself, but she just has an awesome channel. She's very entertaining to watch, and I just adore her. Definitely one of my favorite YouTubers, like, of all time, and she's just fantastic and amazing. She does reviews as well, and she does a like come with me series where she kind of films her like going to the movies, and then she does like a very quick kind of review after the film so that you can get her first reactions. Usually does it with kind of the more bigger popular films that are coming out, but she mostly does reviews, but they are fantastic. Oddly enough, she is someone that I really enjoy watching her channel because of the fact that we don't always necessarily agree on films. A lot of times films that I really enjoyed, she didn't, and vice versa, and I kind of like getting that other perspective from someone. I feel it can be kind of boring if you're just watching people who have the exact same opinion as you in a review, and so I like seeing her kind of opinion. She also has a degree and works in the film industry, so she's able to give you a real perspective from that. Not just, oh, I watched this and I enjoyed it, or I didn't. She also can go in depth into it as far as like the filmography of everything. I think that's the right wording. Because she really knows like what goes into making a film, and so you also get that perspective as well, which is really nice. So yes, Emma from Spooky Astronauts. Totally awesome. Next person is Casey from Homicidal Homemaker. She is a horror cooking show, which is totally genius and totally awesome. If you don't watch her, why? Even if you, like, I don't really cook or bake that much, but I still love watching her make stuff. Her videos are amazing, and it's not just, oh, she's cooking horror themed. She puts so much into it. Like, the entire video will be themed around, you know, whatever it is that she's making. She did like a Jason cake, and in the opening of the video is all of like her crew being killed by Jason, and it's like amazing and kind of hilarious as well. Her videos are extremely funny, and she's put so much effort into it, and it's like you're watching a mini movie. It's really, really awesome, and I just have mad respect for her and how much work she puts into her videos. And she is also one of kind of the first people on the horror YouTube to kind of recognize me, I guess. We started following each other on Horror Amino. It's just a horror app for horror fans. Totally should download it and follow me. But we followed each other on there, and then just followed each other on other social media, and she just like talked to me, which was totally awesome. It's like, I'm this small channel, had less than 100 subscribers at the time, and she, you know, has thousands, and she was just like totally awesome. Not like a big head or big ego about talking to a smaller YouTuber, and she's made me feel so welcome, and she's just absolutely amazing. Next person is Susan from Horror Gal, or Horror Gal Susan. She is another channel that focuses a lot on, she does unboxing videos and horror related tag videos, and she is just another person that's a total sweetheart and badass. She is just like 100% in it because she loves YouTube. She has no ego about YouTube, does not care about like making money or any of that nonsense. She's just 100% in it for the fun because she loves to do this. And just an amazing person. All these people are. Okay, next person is Lindsay from Mother Mayhem. Previously, that horror was her original YouTube channel, but she's since changed it. She does a combination of things from unboxings to reviews to tags to DIY type stuff. She kind of does it all. And she occasionally features her adorable family as well. They are also cute. She is someone that I have been, another person that I have been subscribed to for a very, very long time. Even though YouTube, I realized this morning while I was doing this that YouTube had unsubscribed to me from her. That's been happening a lot. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing any of her videos pop up. That's why. But I originally was subscribed to her for a very long time. Another person who, along with Vanessa, who definitely inspired me to get into doing YouTube. So, next person is Sarah Hawkins. She has a couple of different channels. She just has her personal one where, by that same name, where she talks about mental health stuff. But she also does have a horror specific channel called Possessed by Horror, where she does a lot of reviews. She also does some in time reacting videos where they're kind of long. It's basically her watching the film, which kind of sounds boring until you watch it, and then it's actually really entertaining. It's sometimes her and her boyfriend do it together, and it's really funny because you can kind of hear parts of the movie, and if you know what movie it is, if you've seen it, you know what parts they're reacting to, and it's very entertaining. She does occasionally do kind of the correspondence between horror and mental health on both her personal and her horror channel as well. So that's really awesome. Next person is Kaylee, and I may be pronouncing her last name wrong. Elise. That might be wrong, but that is her YouTube name. Her channel is quite a bit different from most of the people on this list. She actually covers true crime stories. She has a series on her channel called Darkness Matters, where she talks about unsolved true crime mysteries, gives you the details and stories behind missing people. A lot of times it's usually missing people. Sometimes, occasionally people who have been found dead, but their murders have not been solved yet. And she shines a light on these very unfortunate, extremely heartbreaking circumstances, but not in an attempt to exploit anything, but just to kind of get the information out there and try to hopefully get these crimes solved if somebody who knows something sees these. She also does a series as well that I really enjoy, where she takes stories that subscribers have submitted, usually some sort of ghostly haunting story or just a weird thing, scary thing that happened to them, and she reads them out, kind of podcast style, but on YouTube. And those are really enjoyable and sometimes really, really terrifying as well. And she just has a very calming voice. She's just very nice to listen to talk. So if you really like kind of podcast style videos, but you prefer to watch, she is very enjoyable for that. Could listen to her talk for hours, and I have, because I've marathoned through her videos. Next person is a good friend of mine, Mercy, from Des, and I might be pronouncing this horrifically wrong, so I do apologize. It's Des Demona Productions. She is a fellow smaller YouTuber, but she does really awesome reviews as well. She's another person that sometimes reviews a lot of films that I haven't heard of. Another person that we don't always necessarily agree on our opinion of certain films, which is why I enjoy watching her as well. She's part of the hashtag small YouTuber army, which is actually how we became friends and I discovered her. So another smaller YouTuber that I highly suggest you check out. She's totally awesome, and her videos are really cool. She puts like a sometimes black and white, sometimes not, but like a filter over them, so they feel very like old school horror, and features like creepy music. So that's another really awesome thing that I feel like separates her channel from others, is that she gives you this old school horror creepy vibe with her videos, and it's really awesome. Next person is Gory B from Horror Addicts. Of course, had to include my girl Gory B. She is somebody that, thanks to Emma, I've actually recently kind of connected with those guys. Well, her and her mate, just horror addicts in general. But because this is my female list, I'm specifically focusing on Gory. She is a wonderful, sweet person, and their channel, Horror Addicts, is so fun. They do a lot of reviews and some unboxings, and those two are hilarious. Their videos always make me laugh. They're super entertaining. I always like comment being like, you guys always make me laugh. Like, the specific joke had me like hollering because they are so entertaining and so funny, and I just really highly suggest that you check out that channel, like all the rest of these. But yes, so specifically for this list focusing on Gory though, she's the lady in the group. Okay, next person is Ali, from Ali BB, or also Walking Dead BB, or it's BBY. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced BB or baby, so I do apologize. If she watches this, correct me. Might be pronouncing it wrong, but Ali is another great person. She is another person that does a combination of reviews, and she does like horror hauls, not so much unboxing, but just like hauls of stuff that she's gotten. And yeah, she is another sweet, awesome, funny, very entertaining lady in the horror YouTube community, who I just recently discovered and very much enjoy. So the last YouTuber on this list is actually Mikey from glam&gore. I felt the need to include her just because even though her channel is very much different from the rest of these, she doesn't so much talk about horror films, but she does do horror FX makeup. A lot of the FX makeup that she does is based around horror films or putting a horror twist on a film. She has like an entire series of like Disney princesses where she goes from being like the glammed up Disney princess to like a princess who horrifically died or got mangled in some way that is themed around like the movie and the princess, and she's extremely entertaining. So I just felt the need to include her here because, again, like I said, she does horror based FX makeup. And she's a huge horror fan just like the rest of us. She just doesn't necessarily do the same kind of horror type videos, but she's one of my favorite people on here, so on YouTube in general. So just felt the need to include her. For this last bit, I wanted to do some bonus people. These last two people are actually podcasters. They're not actually on YouTube, but I did feel the need to include them because they are great, great people, and they are a big part of the horror community as well. And they also do try to support those of us here on YouTube, even if they are not YouTubers themselves. The first one is actually Kim from Nightmare on Film Street. Her and her husband have a podcast where they talk about different horror films and do a lot of really cool horror-based stuff. They have a website and a Facebook group that you can also join, so all of that will be linked in the description as well. And Kim is just an amazing, awesome, sweet person. Her whole story, which she's talked about on Twitter, she's so inspiring. She's just amazing, so I really wanted to include her in our podcast on here. And then the last two people are Grace and Abby from Good Morning Nancy. They are also a horror podcast. They are people who kind of followed me early on Twitter and are just two fantastic ladies as well that have very entertaining horror-based podcasts as well. And so I just wanted to mention those two podcasts because I think it's really important to include podcasts as well because we need more of those. The more horror content we can put out into the world, the better. So that is my list. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please do check out any of the people on this list that you are not already subscribed to. Make sure that you watch and share their content. Just make sure you go out and support the women in horror because we know we need it. But if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more horror related content, as well as all of their information in the description will be my social media information as always, along with a link to my Patreon. If you wouldn't mind checking it out, it'd be totally awesome. Obviously not a requirement, but if you can, if you have any amount to spare, feel free to check it out in the description below. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you later with another video.